Hey there, kids. It's your dad here again. Ah! Okay, kids. I've never did a video talking about Dragon Ball, the show, before. You know, I've made these videos on Hyper Dragon Ball Z, I've made the videos on Dragon Ball FighterZ, but this time I'm making a video on Dragon Ball Super. Okay, so I'm assuming that most of the people watching this video watched the actual show. And if you don't, then you're retarded, and maybe you need to learn some priorities and start setting your priorities in the right place because you're just an idiot. Now, this is specifically about, as the title says, episode 109 and 110. The greatest episodes yet. Oh my god. I wish I would have recorded my reaction. No, I'm actually glad I didn't, because I really haven't cried on my channel yet, and you would have seen that, and I just really don't want you guys to see that. You know, I'll save that for like way later on. I cried, okay? I got close. I don't think tears came from my eyes, but I did hold back some tears. You know, it wasn't even when he transformed that was so great. It was episode 109, whenever he was just losing and losing and losing and losing and losing, and then he gets the Super Spirit Bomb, and he's still losing. And when he started gathering the ki, I'll tell you one of my favorite parts. When he started gathering the ki, and FRIEZA gave him his ki. I'm like, FRIEZA's the evilest piece of shit, but he's still gonna give him his ki. I mean, it's FRIEZA. Like, FRIEZA probably just wanted to see what would happen. I guess FRIEZA kind of thought that Jiren might do what he did. But, you know, also FRIEZA knew that he himself couldn't defeat Jiren, so he did the best he could. You know, maybe all their energy together could defeat him, even though it didn't. And so, like, FRIEZA still has that threat, and FRIEZA, I mean, this is gonna be out of order. I'm just kind of talking about it as it comes to my head. And so the first thing I'm thinking of is at the very end of episode 110, where FRIEZA has his hand up and he's like got like a energy. He's probably about to kill Goku. Kill. Like Dragon Ball actually kills people. No, people never die in Dragon Ball. We've already addressed that. So obviously, Frieza's realized with that new form, Goku will probably achieve it again, because Frieza has seen this stuff before. He's realized that if Goku ever achieves that state again, Frieza will never be able to defeat him. Because Frieza is a smart fighter. He's not necessarily the strongest fighter ever. I mean, he is one of the strongest fighters in Dragon Ball, but he's not the strongest. And so he realizes the only thing he can do really is to kill him while he's weak. But obviously Goku's not gonna die, because we're gonna see the form again. No doubt in my mind that maybe 10 episodes down the line or less or more, eventually in Dragon Ball Super we're gonna see this form again. We'd all be so freaking disappointed if we didn't. Now, the thing is, how are we going to see this form again? What really could happen to make this form happen again? Now, the first thing that came to my mind as soon as I was finished watching the episode was that question: how was it going to happen? And, you know, I hope it doesn't happen like this, but I could see it working like this. So Goku's figured out that it had something to do with the Spirit Bomb. So basically, Goku calls for another Spirit Bomb. Now, the thing about that is, I think it would be really crappy if Goku calls for 2 Spirit Bombs, like in one season or one arc. But it could happen in 2 ways. It could happen by Goku calling a Spirit Bomb and then dropping it on himself. I know that sounds kind of weird. It is a pretty weird idea, but I think it could work. And he just drops it on himself, and as he's doing what he did last time, he realizes what it was that he did to achieve that form, and so he's able to achieve it again, and it becomes one of his form. But I hope it doesn't happen like that. I hope there's like a little more I don't know. I don't want it to be another Spirit Bomb. Now, what I could think could happen that would be neat is if instead of him calling for necessarily a Spirit Bomb, he just asks for everybody's energy and he doesn't put it above him. He actually just like absorbs and like makes it part of his energy, and then he transforms. That would be neat. I wouldn't like that though to be the only way he could achieve it. Obviously that wouldn't make any sense, but I'm just kind of trying to think of what could happen, because obviously, like, if he does achieve this form, it's not going to be next episode, and it's probably not going to be 5 or 10 episodes. It's going to be a pretty long time down the line. I assume there's going to be like a Vegeta episode, a Gohan episode, and like some really good episodes, because obviously now that they've done this, now that they've had like an amazing episode, they can't have a bunch of like trash episodes to go behind it. It'll probably be like Vegeta sadly versus Ribrianne, because Ribrianne is actually one of the most boring characters I've ever watched. Like throughout the majority of episode 109, as he was fighting Brienne and she was doing her ultimate power, I was like, I'm not even entertained. This is not even, it's not entertaining. I mean, maybe if she would have like turned into something really cool, but she looked the exact same with some wings. That's not gonna do it. If you're wanting to make Brienne an interesting character, you can't just give her some pixie wings. Okay. That's not how it works. Most of the people that watch Dragon Ball are male. Obviously, there's a lot of female. I'm not saying that there's obviously a lot of females watch this. And I'm sure even all the girls out there want the same thing. They want to see cool looking forms. They don't want to see fat girl with some wings, okay? So like, maybe though, I think next episode will probably be, obviously they'll have to resolve the Frieza Goku part. They're not just going to leave that alone. And then there will be Vegeta and Brienne fighting. That'll probably just be one episode. And I'm assuming Frieza's probably going to shoot like a shot and then like somebody blocks it. Or even, you know what's possible? Jiren shoots Frieza. And then Jiren and Frieza have a fight, and Frieza loses. I don't want to see Frieza lose, but obviously if Jiren and Frieza fought, it would lose. I don't know really what I'm even talking about now. I'm just kind of like, you know, coming up with things that could happen, coming up with resolves for the Frieza and Goku thing that just happened at the end of that episode, because nobody's really talking about that. I've been watching videos for a little bit, and nobody's talking about the Frieza and Goku thing. I mean, obviously everybody's talking about the forum, because that was crazy, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard about Ultra Instinct if you've watched any other videos, which you probably have. Anyways, basically the way the episode explained it was that Goku, or whoever has this ability, has learned to act without thinking, or just like an instant. It's kind of weird to explain, but in my mind it looks like Jiren has already achieved this state, which doesn't make sense though. It's like the way Jiren fights, it looks like he's already achieved this state, but no one's surprised about the fact that Jiren seems to already be able to do all this stuff. Like Jiren and Goku seem to be on the same level when they're fighting in this episode, and Goku is in his form. But the way they describe it is basically how I imagine you describe a master black belt in any sort of martial art, which is kind of weird, but it's true. It's like once someone has like learned all of the moves in a martial art, they get to the point to where it's like instinct, and they don't have to think before they do it. All they have to do is think, this person did this, and they just react on that. And you know, like, so I guess it's pretty accurate form, an accurate idea, although, you know, it's just pretty neat. I guess it's pretty neat. They need to do more stuff like this, I guess. I'm just gonna be glad when we see it again, even though next time it happens, it's gotta be interesting, it's gotta be good. Yeah. There were some other theories that I came up with, but like, I don't want to just go off on like random theories, all sorts of tracks of what could happen. I was just kind of wanted to talk. I was just kind of wanting to talk about Dragon Ball Super for a little bit, because I've never really done that on my channel, and I've been enjoying Dragon Ball in all sorts, like Dragon Ball Fighters. I've been watching that on YouTube all the time. I've been playing Hyper DBZ a lot, and I've been playing with Frieza. I'm getting better. I've gotten to like Vegeta, like I usually am. Vegeta is like the bar. Once I surpass him, I usually beat the rest of the people after him until Golden Frieza, which is the last stage. And yeah, maybe I'll do some more Hyper DBZ videos, and then hopefully sometime I would get to make another one of those videos that I did with my friends, because that was actually really fun. All of us had a good time when we were doing that, and so we'll probably do it again. And yeah, I'm pretty much done talking about this. Yeah, if you enjoy this type of video, me talking about Dragon Ball Super, I'll do it more often if you guys like it. And that's pretty much all. It's been your dad here. I'll see you later.